Hello everyone, it's nearly Halloween, so I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about scary TV and games and stuff, and why I don't have anything to do with any of that stuff. You've probably jumped straight to the conclusion that I'm just a giant wuss, and I am, but it's not the only reason. I am a really vivid dreamer, so I'll try to explain what I mean and why this means scary stuff is really bad for me. So watching the scary thing itself, regardless of how terrifying and unpleasant it may be, is not usually the big problem for me. It's actually the night or nights afterwards when my brain decides to turn whatever scary subject or thing into something much, much worse. This probably wouldn't be too big of an issue, but I do get sleep paralysis and night terrors sometimes, and that means that my brain will not only convert horrible thing into worse thing, it'll trap me there with it and torture me. This means that things that don't necessarily seem that scary can sometimes become much worse in my head. For example, when I was a kid, I went to a friend's house and played Abe's Odyssey, and I could not sleep for a couple of weeks because I kept dreaming that the aliens were going to come down and demand my sister, who was pregnant at the time, be used for meat. In one of those dreams we managed to convince them instead to use fish, but then one of the aliens didn't like fish and it was back to chowing down on my sister. What this means is that I'm just really careful about what I watch, so I was hesitant to watch Stranger Things, even though everybody loved it because I was worried it was going to be scary, but turns out that was totally fine. If anything is like a horror or a psychological thriller and too intense, I'll avoid it until I can work out if it's something I can, deal with and handle and not have a terrible, 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 terrible time later. Luckily for me, I don't particularly enjoy horror, so it's not like it's this thing where I'm like, oh, I want to do it, but I know it's gonna be bad. It's just I don't get into it. I don't really enjoy being scared. I jump scare way too easily, which everybody else finds very funny, but for me it's painful at best. It's not a genre that I crave, so I don't really mind that it has this effect on me. I wish that it was easier to tell if it was gonna happen, and I kind of wish I didn't always seem like such a big wuss, but I guess that's just what I do now. That's just my life now. It's fine. Being a really vivid dreamer or an imaginative person isn't all bad. I think I do just have a very strong imagination. I'm very good at conjuring images or sensations, by thinking about things, she says as she loses her train of thought completely. On the flip side though, vivid dreaming is not all bad. I have had some cool dreams, like swinging around Mandra as Spider-Man and stuff like that. I can often remember my dreams pretty well when I wake up in the morning. Sometimes I lose them later, but I'm one of those people who can wake up and usually tell you what I dreamt about, which is kind of neat. I have woken up in tears over dreams, and I've woken myself up laughing, all that kind of stuff. Probably the funniest one was I woke up absolutely crying, my eyes out, hysterics. Get ready for some stupidity. I dreamt that I had a packet of chips, or crisps, and I was sitting on the couch eating them, and they were a weird flavour, and I didn't really like them very much, but they were chips, so I was gonna keep eating them because I'm a bit like that. And then my partner sat down on the couch next to me, and he had a bag of chips, and they were salt and vinegar or something. I don't remember exactly, but they were a tasty chip. And I was looking at those chips, and I was all, gotta get me some of them chips. And Dream Me reasoned that I could trade my crappy chips, at least for one or two good chips, try for try kind of thing. You want some of mine? Oh cool, yeah, give me some of those ones. Yeah, nice. And as I went to do this, I somehow fumbled and dropped my chips all over the floor, out of the bag, everywhere. And I knew in this harrowing moment that my opportunity to get the good chips was gone. And I was heartbroken, and the emotions overcame me completely. and I woke up absolutely sobbing, like hysterical crying, and, you know, freaked everybody out. It was cool. Then I had to explain why. Also cool. I've also woken up ready to pick a fight because I dreamt that my partner told me that I had shit tattoos and he hated them. And I woke up and I was ready to go down. I was ready to be like, how dare you say that about my tattoos? And it wasn't until I realized that the tattoos he was talking about in the dream were tattoos I don't have, that the anger was just carried over from the dream and wasn't true. And the tattoos in the dream were pretty shit. So he was right. Anyway. So this got off the track pretty quickly, but yeah, that is the reason why I don't partake in horror themed things. I do love Halloween though, even though we don't really celebrate in Australia. I like costumes, I like pumpkins, I think it's a cool holiday, and I like Overwatch Halloween events and Halloween skins. So that's good. I like Halloween. Just don't make it too scary, otherwise I can't. I just literally can't. Thanks for watching this video. I will maybe make more of these because they're pretty lazy if you like it. Cool. Bye.